One more thing. One more thing. Before I get into bed. This thing say, who plant the seed in your kid's garden? And what led me on to that is, when I was talking earlier, a couple of minutes ago, about the masculinity of men, the absence of the masculinity in men. I'm a little calm now. Earlier I was kind of hyper or whatever. It's like I had some chocolate and I'm just not coming down on it. But I'm asking, who plant the seed in your kid's garden? You got to understand what I mean by who plant the seed in your kid's garden. Again, it goes back to when I told you that the woman got pushed out of the household by World War II and other feminist acts. And I said every action had a plan before it that caused a reaction. So now we know every action has a reaction, every cause has an effect. Now this thing that we fighting every day, everybody always talking about political, this system, how it don't work for them. But you got to understand we're playing in their system and you have to learn to play in it. But first of all, we did the wrong thing by not paying attention who's planting the seed in our kids' garden. They call it kindergarten for a reason. The first teacher to every child is the mother. The first teacher to every child is the mother. 9 months inside of the womb, and then you come out of the womb. Now, I don't care if it's a HBC, a university, charter school, or whatever. What is that school teaching your child about self? Self-preservation is number 1. Self-reservation is number 2. Self-accountability. Notice I'm saying self. Self has a lot to do. The knowledge of self has a lot to do with your success and your prosperity. Knowledge of self has a lot to do with knowledge of self. Knowledge of self has a lot to do with your success and prosperity. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like my kids don't go to a school. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. But it's different when you don't have the knowledge of knowing what's going on. It's different when you don't teach your kids about self. Yes, I teach my kids about themselves first. I don't need no school system trying to teach my kids about self. Self. Again, the mother is the first teacher to a child. No school system will ever teach a child about self, survival, any of that. You get that from home. School only makes you a better employer for a better employee for the employer. Let me re-say it in case you missed what I said. School, 12 years of college, and all the years that you go to, 12 years of school and all the years you go to college, only makes you a better employee for the employer. They only teach you about being a good worker for somebody else. But what about you, yourself? You got to understand what God gave you, man. You got to understand He gave you everything you need. The only thing you was missing was knowledge of self. Wealth is not money. A lot of people think the richer you are, the more wealthy you are. No, money is only in exchange of a currency exchange to get what you want. But knowledge is like, that's wealth. Knowledge is wealth. I'm sorry, you have to pass down something to your kids so that's how you get generational wealth. Now money, don't get it twisted. You need money because it's the means of exchange. But knowledge is always it's higher than all that, because without knowledge, a fool can blow through money. You see how that works? How many people, dumb folks that you know with money? It's a lot of folks with money that don't have no knowledge. That's why they don't have it no more. generational wealth, and it's not just money. When the Bible said a wise man passed inheritance to his kids, he wasn't talking about money. It's talking about their mind. You got to have something to pass down to your kids. That's how you break generational curses. No school can teach you about self. I never seen a school that teach you about self. School only makes you, again, to be a better employee for an employer. So, who are you letting plant the seed into your church? Or who are you letting, like I said, who are you letting plant the seed in your kids' garden? Because the seed has to grow. But who are we giving our children to? I understand we have to work. Understand, I'm not knocking anybody that has a 9 to 5. Everybody has a hustle. I'm not knocking it. But you got to take time out with them babies, man. Take time out with them babies. Because when you come home, cut off that TV. You got to cut off that TV. Because that media, what you watch every day on TV, you might think that your kids ain't paying attention to it, but it's messing with their subconscious. The subconscious picking up on it. Indirectly, directly, the subconscious picking up on it. 98% of people most people act out of subconscious. Meaning they don't even know they thinking. Your mind thinks for a living. It's housed by the brain. Your brain, that's what it does for a living. It's just a housing for the mind. Your mind thinks for a living. So a lot of folks think out of subconscious, but when you think consciously, you'll understand where I'm coming from. Now, school, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because you have to have some form of education. But also, the woman who is the first teacher to a child, man, he already learning from him. He was learning from the day he was conceived. He was learning from the male as well as he's in the incubator. I call it incubator because they taking in whatever you put out. They arguing and stuff you're doing with your mate and stuff. In the incubator, he's learning that. He's learning that. That's why you see some kids more angry than others. That's what all they know. That's all they ever heard. Be careful, man. Be careful. Who you let plant the seed in your kid's garden? That's what I'm saying. Who you let plant the seeds in your kid's garden? Because the school system, that's all you rely on. The same system that we get up and complain about every day, you ain't going to win. Because they're teaching your child. They're molding them. All this anger you see out here in the streets, all this anger you see, that black men going wild crazy, majority of them pay attention to news. Number one, majority of them pay attention to news. They want to know what's going on, acting feminine, acting out of feelings and emotions. We have feelings and emotions, but to act out of feelings and emotions, that's being feminine, man. That's a feminine trait. You don't act out of feelings and emotions, man. Well, think about it. And I'm laying in the bed, man, so forgive me. You see me wrapped up in my wife's blanket, man. I mean, I'm just at home, man. She made my house a home. My boy's listening. He's standing there listening to me now. He like, Dad, you always on live. He hear what I'm be talking about. I'm just saying, I'm going to raise mine and teach mine, because I don't want no school to not teach them about self. I teach my kids about self first. Education is something, but when you know about yourself first, that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, then you can get love, peace, prosperity, abundance, health, and wealth. I'm out of here, man.